It can be super overwhelming when you are trying to find good yarns for amigurumi. Whether you are in your favorite craft store and you're looking at the yarn that you've got in your basket and you're wondering, is this yarn going to work for my amigurumi project? And online shopping is even harder. But today I've got a little test for you and we're going to see if that yarn that you have actually will be good for amigurumi. And I also have a free gift for you so that you'll be able to keep track of the data that we will be collecting. Hi there, I'm Elise and I am a certified crochet instructor, and it can be really difficult to know whether or not a yarn is great for amigurumi just by touching and feeling it. The best way to know is to actually use it, and that's why I created this little test. And what prompted all of this was when the wonderful folks from Premier Yarns reached out to me and asked me to come on down to their headquarters, which is actually just 15 minutes from my house, and they gifted me with a huge box of yarn, which I was so excited about, but they wanted to know which ones I thought were great for amigurumi, and I needed to test these yarns, but I couldn't make a toy for each and every one of them because that would have taken me months. So I created this little test that is super easy to do, and you can test a lot of different yarns because maybe you've got some in your stash and you don't know, will this work for amigurumi? Or maybe you are out shopping and you just happen to find a great clearance yarn and you're thinking this might work for amigurumi. Or maybe you are at a garage sale and you found a huge box of yarns and you're like, I'm taking that home, but you need to test these yarns to see if they'll actually work for toy making. So let's go ahead, grab your yarn, grab a hook, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this little test. For this test, I'm using Premier Basics worsted, a 3.5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a yarn needle. All we're doing is creating this little amigurumi ball, and the reason why we're doing this is because to make this little ball, you have to do the basics of amigurumi. You need to make a magic ring, you need to increase, you need to do invisible decreases, and then you close the opening there and you weave in your ends. And that will help give you a great idea whether or not this is a great yarn for amigurumi or not. And I also have these little printable tags that are free on my website. Check the link in the description box below to get them, and it has the brand, the weight, and the hook size, and you could also take any notes on the back if you wanted to write any additional information. So let's go ahead and get started. And if you need any help with these techniques, make sure to check the links in the description box below, and I can walk you through how to make a magic ring or how to do those increases or decreases. So we're going to start with a magic ring. And we're going to make 6 in a magic ring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to pull that magic ring closed. For round 1, we are just going to increase in each one of these stitches, which just means we're going to do 2 single crochet in each one of the stitches. Go ahead and mark that first stitch. Make the second one in the same stitch. We're going to go all the way around. So at the end of this round, you will have 12 stitches. Just count to make sure that you have your 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For round 2, we're just going to do 1 single crochet increase, and we're going to do that all the way around 6 times. So that's our first single crochet. And then we move on to the second stitch and we're going to increase. So we're going to make 2 single crochet in that one. We're just going to keep going all the way around, and at the end of this you will have 18 stitches. And for rounds 3, 4, and 5, we're just going to single crochet in each one of these stitches, and we're going to meet back for round 6. Your little amigurumi ball should look a little bit like this now, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do 1 single crochet decrease, and we're going to end up with 12. So now we're just doing the exact opposite of what we did before. So we did 1 single crochet and we're going to do an invisible decrease. And I'm just going into the front loops of these next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, in single crocheting. So that's taking those 2 stitches and turning them into 1. So that was my 1 single crochet. And now I'm going to go into the front loops of these 2 single crochet. And so we're going to do that all the way around our amigurumi ball here. For round number 7, we're going to do 6 invisible decreases and we're going to be left with 6 stitches. So we're going to go into the front loops of those next 2 stitches, single crochet. I'm going to mark that stitch. I'm not worried about how pretty and neat this looks. I'm more concerned about just working with the yarn and seeing how it reacts to all of these different techniques and stitches that I'm using. Now we can go ahead, and you don't need to leave a super long tail, but I like to have one long enough that I can work easily with. And I'm just going to pull my yarn through. Now I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit of stuffing so that I can get that all stuffed. And I'm just going to stuff it a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly stuffed. Just enough so that I can really see the shape. And I want to push and I want to see, how does this yarn react when I'm doing all of these things? Does it keep its shape? Is it holding up? Is it creating holes? It's looking pretty good so far. So this is going to be good enough. I'm not going to worry about it being perfectly stuffed. But now I'm going to get my yarn needle, and this is actually the most important part for me. I want to make sure that this yarn holds up really well to seaming. And then I'm just going to go into the front loops of each one of those 6 stitches to close. Pull tightly. Shape the ball a little bit, and then I'm just going to go right down into the center, and I'm going to come out the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead and just cut out the tag so that I can write the information on. And I always think, oh, I'll remember which yarn I used and what hook, and that is so not true. I never remember. So this helps me to stay organized and to remember actually what I did. And you'll find a link to these. They're free on my website. I use a little bit of butcher's twine, but you can use whatever you have on hand. It's totally functional and absolutely adorable all at the same time. Let's check in with today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform for creative-minded people, and it's perfect for crafters because there are literally hundreds of crafting classes on Skillshare. And the best part is that you can learn all from the comforts of your own home, and each class is ad-free. One of my favorites is Modern Crochet Essentials by one of my favorite crochet designers, Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. Modern Crochet Essentials is perfect for a beginner, but also for those crocheters who are ready to polish up their skills. Tony is a master crochet teacher, and I promise you will not be disappointed. I thoroughly enjoyed the section on understanding color theory. And the best part is that the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description box below will get a 1-month free trial to Skillshare. And you'll also find Amigurumi classes on there as well, which is so much fun. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And now let's move on to what are the characteristics of a good amigurumi yarn. I'm here at Premier Yarns, and I am so excited to be bringing them all of the data from the yarn test that I did. I feel like a scientist bringing all this important information about which yarns are the best for amigurumi, but it's going to be fun. Premier Yarns is literally in my backyard. Not literally in my backyard. It's about 15 minutes from my house, which is really, really cool that they're so close. There are good yarns for amigurumi and there are bad yarns for amigurumi, and it really doesn't even have anything to do with budget. It doesn't mean that a more expensive yarn is better for amigurumi and a less expensive yarn is terrible for amigurumi. There are specific characteristics of a yarn that make it good for amigurumi, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into the first good characteristic, and that is that it is strong enough for seaming. This is my number one most important thing that I look for in an amigurumi yarn. One time, I will tell you that I tried a yarn and it looked really great online and it was 100% wool and I thought it was going to work great. But when I used it for seaming, it literally fell apart. As I was closing that magic ring like we did for our ball, it literally just broke right in half. I decided then and there that that was not going to be good, and I never wanted that to happen again, because the last thing that you want to do is you are sewing on the head, which none of us like to do, or you're sewing on the arm, or you're closing a magic ring. You do not want that yarn to break in half. That is no bueno. Nobody likes that. So for me, the number one most important characteristic is that it is strong. The next characteristic really is more of a personal preference. For me, I like toys that have a little more stitch definition. Every once in a while, I love to add a strand of mohair to give my toys a really fuzzy look, but for the most part, my toys have decent stitch definition. But there are also those amigurumi makers that love the fuzzy yarns. There are more and more fuzzy yarns out there on the market, and they're called things like faux fur or eyelash yarn, and it's really tempting to use these for amigurumi projects because they will look more realistic, especially when you're making animals. They can be difficult to work with because it's hard to see your stitches. So there are some tips and tricks, and I'm not going to be the one that's going to be able to help you with this because I don't like working with these yarns very often, and that is Planet June. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for a great article on really how to work with these yarns, what to look for, and the different tips that she has. It's really a great article, and if you want to use those types of yarns, make sure to check out that blog post. Another important characteristic for me is the color of the yarn. I find that for my old aging eyes, I really like working with lighter colored yarns, and that doesn't mean that I don't work with dark colored yarns, but if I am going to be using a dark yarn, my best recommendation is to get some type of great lighting. I have a neck light that works perfectly. Number one, it wraps around my neck so I don't have to hold it in my hands, and one thing that I like about it is that I can move it around. That way I can point the lights exactly where I want them, and there are two, one on each side of the light. The other thing that's great is that you can change the lighting to a warm light to a cooler light. Also, you can change the intensity of the light. And the best part about this light is that it is totally rechargeable. There are no batteries, so I can just plug it up, charge it, and it actually stays charged for quite some time. And you'll find a link to my favorite one in the description box below. So when you're on the hunt for those amigurumi yarns, ask yourself these questions. Do you want a smooth yarn or a fuzzy yarn? Do you want your toy to be small, medium, or large? And look at the appropriate yarn weights if you wanted to do a DK yarn, a worsted weight, or a bulky weight yarn to make the size toy that you want. Next, does your toy need to be washable or not? So you need to look at the yarn label to see, is this a yarn that can be easily washed? Number two, is this toy going to be for display only, or is this toy going to be well loved by a child who's going to have its hands all over it all of the time and is therefore going to probably get pretty dirty? You can always spot clean a toy, but some yarns you could actually just wash them in the sink and give them a nice clean. The final question is whether you want a synthetic fiber or a natural fiber or a blend of the two. I happen to love blends because you get the best of both worlds. One thing that's great about synthetic fibers is that they are easy to clean and they're typically more affordable. Natural fibers are really wonderful to work with, like cotton or wool or alpaca, but they can be expensive and sometimes they're not the easiest to wash. So think about all of those questions when you are looking for your amigurumi yarns as well. So I know some of you are going to say, just recommend a yarn to me, and I want to give you my favorites from the Premier Yarns collections. So the first is the Premier Basics Worsted, which is a fantastic budget-friendly yarn, and I made 2 of the little amigurumi balls, and they worked up great. And what I learned about this yarn is that it is a heavier worsted weight. It comes in 81 amazing different colors, and it is $3.79 for a 7-ounce skein. So that's a lot of yarn. The next yarn is the Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted, and what's fantastic about this yarn is that it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which is really nice, but also it has the anti-pilling technology. So if you're making a toy that's going to get a lot of love, I highly recommend this yarn. What's great is that it is still really affordable at $4.99 for a 3.5-ounce skein, and it comes in 67 gorgeous colors. So my new favorite amigurumi yarn is the Premier Stitch Please Superwash Worsted. I absolutely love every single thing about this yarn. This is my kind of yarn for amigurumi. I love it so much. It's a lighter worsted weight, which is what I really like, and it has beautiful stitch definition, and it comes in so many gorgeous colors. I love it. It is $9.99 for a 3.5-ounce skein, but the great thing is Premier is always running great sales, so make sure to get on their email list. 3.5 ounces is going to last me quite some time. The next yarn is the Premier Basics DK. This is a fantastic DK weight yarn for amigurumi. It is a very affordable yarn at $2.99 for a 3.5-ounce skein. This next yarn is the Anti-Pilling Everyday DK Merino blend, and this one is a beautiful, beautiful yarn. I really love this one. This one's 55% merino and 45% acrylic. What's great about it is that it is really soft and comes in 27 gorgeous colors, and it has beautiful stitch definition as well. The Wool Select turned out to be one of my very, very favorite yarns. It is so gorgeous. This looks and feels like a more luxury yarn, even though this is 75% acrylic and 25% wool. I absolutely loved working with this yarn, and there are 38 absolutely stunning, gorgeous colors. I love every single one of them, and this just feels so good in my hands, and I'm in love with this yarn. I hope you enjoyed doing your little amigurumi yarn test. Make sure to get your free tags as well as your 1-month free trial of Skillshare. But stay safe out there and happy stitching.